For the bridge, we're going to be starting by lying on our back, and then we're going to bend both knees so that our feet are flat on the table. From there, we're going to press our feet into the table and lift our hips up toward the ceiling. We want to keep our feet flat, pressing with our midfoot and heel. And one thing we want to watch out for is we do not want to arch our back, so make sure to keep the core engaged as you perform the bridge. For our single leg bridge, we're going to start on our backs and we're going to bend both knees so that our feet are flat on the floor. From there, we're going to extend one leg and we're going to keep that leg in alignment with the upper portion of the leg that's bent. Now we're going to press our heel and midfoot into the floor as we perform the bridge, and we want to emphasize in keeping the core engaged so that we are not arching our back. For the clamshell, we're going to start by lying on our side and bending our knees around 45 degrees. From there, we're going to keep our feet in contact with each other, especially our heels, and we're going to open up our knees. And notice how my body is staying nice and square and my hips are not rolling back as I open up. Okay, so first we're going to take our banded loop. We're going to place it around both legs and we're going to put it right above our knee. And then from there, we're going to stand next to the wall and we're going to take 2 half steps forward and then place our foot flat against the wall. While having a slight bend in the leg that's on the ground, we're going to open up our hips and notice how my foot is staying in contact with the wall. Although it is opening up, it is not leaving the wall. There you go. For the donkey kicks, we're going to start on our hands and knees, and from there, we're going to kick our foot up into the air. We're going to do this one side at a time for all the reps, and notice how my leg is staying bent. It is not straightening out. One cue that can help you with this one is imagine trying to press your foot flat into the ceiling above. For our fire hydrants, we're going to be starting on our hands and knees, and from there, one side at a time, we're going to kick our knee out to the side, but it's not necessarily directly to the side, it is a little bit more back and diagonal. Also, we want to keep our low back level. Imagine if a glass of water was on it, you're trying not to let it spill. For the goblet squat, we're going to start by spreading our feet around shoulder width apart, and then we're going to hold our weight like a goblet, keeping it close to our body. We want to try to keep it as close as possible. From there, we're going to squat. Notice how I'm keeping my feet flat, pressing through the floor with my entire foot. For the RDL, first thing we want to know is that we want to keep the weight as close to our body as possible on the way up and down. Try not to let it stray too far away from your shins. Next, as you go down, you only want to go to about mid-shin height with your hands, and we're going to be pushing our hips back while keeping our feet flat on the floor. On the way up, all we're doing is bringing our hips through, standing nice and tall. For the single leg Romanian deadlift, along with the curl up and press, we're going to start standing on one leg, and we're going to be holding our weight in the opposite hand of the leg that's standing on the floor. From there, we're going to hinge at our hips, not rounding our spine, bringing that weight to the front of our toe. And then when we come back up, we're going to be curling the weight and pressing in the air as we drive our knee up to 90 degrees. For the step up and shoulder press, we're going to start by holding weight on the same side as the leg that's doing the step up. Now, as we step up, we're going to simultaneously drive our opposite knee forward while doing a shoulder press. Notice how the dumbbell is resting at shoulder height during this movement. For the reverse lunge, we're going to keep a slight width between our legs as we step back. We're not stepping back one foot behind the other. We're going to keep that front foot flat and we're stepping back into the lunge. It's all one motion. You're not stepping back and then lunging. For the side lunge, we're going to start standing, but this time we're going to lunge to the side. And notice how as I step to the side, my knee is not caving in. We want to not have our knees cave in, and then we want to emphasize keeping our feet flat. And one thing that will help is by pushing our hips back with a slight forward trunk lean. For the split squat, we're going to take one step forward and one step back. We don't want to be balancing on a tightrope, so keep a slight width between your legs. From here, we're going to squat straight down. Notice how my arms are coming down in a straight line. And lastly, make sure to keep that front foot flat the entire time.